Good morning, guys. I wanted to make a quick video because I was asked about rib thrusting during pregnancy and what to do to kind of release the tension that can create rib thrusting. Psoas release is a great one, as well as lengthening out through the legs a bit. But I wanted to show you a technique that I really love to use for the upper body decompression. What often happens with rib thrusting, is that, we tend to end up doing this a lot. So, and what happens is the rib cage and the thoracic spine become very compressed and immobile. So there's like this lack of movement that tends to happen in this part of the back from this kind of holding in this rigid rib thrust way. And when you're pregnant, it can be really hard to not rib thrust. So I just wanted to show this really simple, you can do it so many times during the day, this technique that I love. Okay, so just let's break it down very quickly. The movement of the arms is where you're going to turn your palms face forward, and you're going to imagine that you're spilling a cup of soup backwards. So you're going to spin your palms back, and then you're going to take it the other way. Now, as you take it the other way, your arm bones are going to your shoulder is going to internally rotate. As you do that, you just spin as much as you can that way, and then you're going to spin as much as you can backward. This is a great way also just to assess how much movement you have in internal external rotation, but that's a different conversation. But so you are backwards and forwarding, and then you're going to combine that with breath movement, and you're going to combine that with spinal movement. So it's really opening up the whole shoulder and thoracic and the ribs, and all of those together make up what, lack of movement in the upper body or a lot of movement in the upper body. So you have to always have those three components present when you're trying to troubleshoot that area. Okay, so the movement, every time you spin your arms this way, external rotation, that's an inhale movement. And the exhale movement would go this way. Okay, and now let's talk about what the spine is doing. Every time you inhale, naturally, all the time, doesn't matter what you're doing, when you take a rib-focused inhale, it will create a little bit of spinal extension. So what you're going to do is you're going to increase that spinal extension. Yes, it is kind of like a rib thrust, but no, it's different, and I'll show you. So the inhale is going to be a little bit of this, and the exhale is going to be a lot of this, a lot of rolling in, rounding in. See if you can make it. Look at my upper back. See if you can make it upper back as opposed to like everything down here. So you're really trying to isolate this, and then the inhale again is going to be coming to here. Rib thrusting would be more like here. So you're not going to come that far. You're thinking less about your ribs forward and more about lengthening up, getting longer. Don't confuse this pattern with how you should be all day long. Remember, this is an isolated exercise to bring some harmony and integrity into your upper body and to create space. Okay, so let's put it all together. So the inhale is, you'll start with your palms. Let's start here on the exhale movement. And then the inhale will be starting to spin your palms, starting to open, inhale, and reaching your arms just up to shoulder height. And the exhale is going the other way. So you're starting to spin your palms in as you lower them down, as your arm bones roll forward, as your back rounds in. So I'm going to do it once without talking, just so you can see the pattern. I'll kind of turn my body both ways. We'll start in this position. Now, if you want to add on, you can lift your arms all the way up in the spiral. But as your arms go up, so as your arms come up here, they should be pointing backward. So not forward. This is forward. This is palms go backward. Okay, so you don't have to have the spiral going all the way up, and you can include a little bit more lifting of your chest. Notice how my chest is going up. It's not doing this. There's a really big difference. And I think what ends up happening in the world, the alignment world, is that people hear rib thrusting is bad, rib thrusting is bad. It can lead to a diastasis. It can lead to pelvic floor dysfunction. It can lead to this, that, and the other. And then what they do is this all the time. And they never move, you know, they never move out of this position. And then the arms again spiral in. So and then we get stuck in this internally rotated ribs pulled down situation where what we really want is more of harmony here. So we don't want this, right? And then harmony up through here. We want this to be as open as it should be. So not here, not here. Okay, so that's the pattern that I love. The inhale goes here and the exhale goes here. Now just a few things to note. What I see a lot of people is having a hard time getting the full articulation of the arm, and they just start kind of doing this and this and this and this. See if you can really initiate the movement from this spinning action both ways. So the inhale is from this spinning, the exhale is from this decompressing, rounding back like you've been sucker punched. Of course you haven't been, and don't be aggressive like that, but you're really thinking about letting this drop back. Now you have a baby, for those of you who are doing this because you're pregnant, you have a baby, and it takes up a lot of space, and it can be hard to find that decompression, but try as much decompressing as you can, obviously working with what you have. So yeah, try to get this full range here. And so, and it's a long, slow inhale. The inhale might take 5 seconds. So I want you to try initiating from your arms a bunch of times, and then I want you to try initiating from your sternum a bunch of times. So like this action, right? So initiate the movement from here, up, forward and up, collapse it in and down. And so just feel like that's your initiation point. So I'm not going to start from my hands now. They're going to move, but I'm going to think about this rising, lifting, expanding, opening. And now I'm going to think about this coming back in. Okay, so do it both ways. It's really valuable both ways. One way, and it looks the same, but in one way you're initiating from this arm movement, and the arm is kind of leading the chest and the breath, and then in the other way you're leading from the chest movement, and the chest is, and see which way is harder. So that's really illuminating to you. Like for me, it's way easier to initiate from my hands and less from my ribs, because my shoulders are very mobile and I have a lot of movement available to me. But then at what cost is that, right? How little these move so much, my shoulders, so like I probably compensate by not moving my ribs as much. So it's just something to know, like if it's harder for you to initiate proximally, so from here, as opposed to distally, then you want to work more on that. But that's a little bit more complicated, and just a little bit kind of a different nuance. Play with it. Let me know. Hit me with, I'd love your feedback. Bye.